Hey everybody, William Wallace here, still with Pat Connick, and we're outside of one of his Marquis projects, but I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about it.
We're on the campus of Madonna Manor in Marrero. It's a campus that was developed in the 1920s until 1945. It housed orphanages and was run by Father Weinhoven from Holland. It's incredible architecture, incredible history. There's a lot of good that has come out of these buildings, and we are trying to preserve them and make it something, put them back into commerce for the Westbank and for the entire state.
I grew up on the Westbank originally, my first couple years here. I've passed this building plenty of times. I always knew it was an orphanage, but I never knew the history of some of these buildings, and we're going to do a quick tour of it around here so you can kind of see more about it. So I'm going to turn the camera a little bit, so bear with me a little bit. Pat, I'm going to turn around and you tell us about this sculpture behind us here.
Well, the building that we're looking at is being renovated. We have $1 million that is being used to preserve the building and to prevent it from further deterioration. You got new roof going on, waterproofing, all the insides getting gutted, the mold and mildew and asbestos is gone. It's going to be a shell of a building once we finish, so it would give an opportunity for this parish and the state or entities to come in and say, okay, let's do something, put commerce back into these structures. This was the mechanical building. This is where the boys learned to do woodworking and other trades, bookbinding. And if you look at the actual sculpture in the entrance to the building, you can see the saws and the hammers and all the tools that they would use to perform their task and learn their trade. And this is just one of many buildings on the campus that has this type of design and this type of beautiful architecture, and I think it's worth saving.
Yeah, that's amazing, that building. So let's walk around a little bit. You're going to show us some other buildings.
We are finally getting some work done. It took years to get the funding, and we finally got it. You know, things are happening, and that's a good thing. Many people on the Westbank are happy that this is being done. If you look over here to these buildings, this is the back of a cottage that Father Weinhoven was. This was built in 1945. Before Father Weinhoven's retirement. Unfortunately, he died before he had a chance to live in it. He had a heart attack in Boston.
And people in the Westbank know that there's also a retirement home over here called Weinhoven.
Correct. And he's buried right across the street at a church, the St. John Bosco Church, if you can show over there.
Yeah.
Right straight across this way. Hopefully we'll get in the future some more funding to renovate this campus, renovate this building. But if you look at the trees and the campus, there's nothing else like it on the Westbank or in Jefferson Parish.
Right.
Back there is the Sanger Gym.
The Sanger Gym?
Sanger Gym.
In relation to the Sanger?
Absolutely.
Okay.
A lot of these buildings were funded by the Jewish community, believe it or not, in the 20s and the 30s, who Catholic priest Father Weinhoven had a great relationship with. There's a building across the street that got a Star of David as a memorial and thanking the Jewish faith for helping out with this campus.
Well, that used to be a pool, you said, right there, right?
Pool back there, and there's an open field. That Shaw High School's behind there. This property is owned by the Archdiocese, but Mike Guinea and the council was able to do an agreement with the Archdiocese to take over the buildings for 100 years for $1 a year. 100 years for $1 a year. It's a great deal. But I want you to look at the architecture on this building here. You can see each one has a gargoyle in it, and the gargoyle is doing some kind of trade.
So that's right up there, the little gargoyle right there.
We have funding for this building also. We have $4 million that's going to come in and preserve this building in the same manner we're doing what they call the Feingold building that you saw working on.
The big one. Yeah, we went through the inside of that building. We couldn't really do a tour. The video on there is kind of dark, but we're doing a lot of work in there.
Yeah, just making it stay and cutting it. But this is a plaque that was John Gilbert Memorial Administration Building. It was erected in 1925. Calvin Coolidge was the president. John Shaw was Archbishop of New Orleans. Henry Fuqua was the governor of Louisiana. And Father Weinhoven was the superintendent and founder. So pretty historical stuff here.
And then across the street, we still have, what's structure across the street right there?
That's the church.
Behind us?
That's the church. They renovated that building maybe 8 years ago. The Archdiocese did, and then that's the Pace Center. It's an elderly daycare center.
Okay.
It's beautiful inside. You can see the ornate design on the outside. This Spanish colonial architecture,
Right.
and that's part of this whole campus.
Did that fountain ever work?
It does. I think the Italians here got it working, but it's off now because there's no activity here. But the parish has taken over, and they have cleaned it up and made it shine a little bit, and they do a good job keeping the grounds up and running and grass back.
It's amazing. As we pan around, there's a ton of oak trees out here.
Right. These trees have a special significance for me because my grandfather came as a young boy from Holland in 1918 on my mother's side, Thomas Jennison's.
Right.
And he planted these trees. They go from Shaw, there's about 100 of them. They go around into the back. So this is there's courtyards on either side. On the inside, they got hardwood floors that are not bad at all. It just needs to be cleaned up and spruced up.
So is the inside of this building as bad as the one on the other side?
No, the back is, but not the front. The front is pretty good.
Okay.
It's got good bones.
So your grandfather, you said, actually planted all these trees on this.
He did. He came in as a young boy and became no formal schooling, but he was the veterinarian for the Westbank.
Not only do you have passion for this community because of who you are and what you do, but you've got a passion to it because of your family roots in here.
Yeah, we have roots here, but I want you to take a look back at this field. And I envision this as a festival ground, a community area where you have concerts, picnics, barbecues.
Right.
Have some bands come out, and you have trees. It can be an awesome boost for the Westbank, and that's the ultimate goal, and hopefully we can make it happen. So,
It's a beautiful area, and the buildings are gorgeous and historic. The architecture is phenomenal, and this would make a great place to have like a fairgrounds for the parish.
And nobody knows about it for the most part, but they got a ring around here of oak trees that you can drive through or walk through. Would be a great walking park.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna pan around here and let everybody see this.
Yeah, but let's go through over here.
So how's it feel walking through here, knowing your grandfather planted these trees?
It's pretty cool. I learned from my uncle that he used to have a dairy farm they called him the Dutchman, and he used to take the ferry across from Barrett Boulevard directly across to Napoleon Avenue and sell his milk uptown. So, but this is the trail that goes all the way around with the canopy of oak trees that we need to keep. We need to preserve and get people out here to enjoy.
Where does this road go to?
This goes around the circle to the same building that we started with.
Now, what's that building over there?
It's another cottage, and there's some folks looking into that to try to do a sublease from the parish to turn that one into something. They can have activities there, and it's just a start, man. We're just getting ready, rolling with it, and once they finish putting the roof on this building, I want to send an email to my constituents and show them what's going on and get a tour of it, and get them involved and get their ideas on.
So you can actually show them where the money went.
Absolutely, and get their ideas and what can we do? What do they want to get involved in and make this a gym of the Westbank?
Right.
So
it could be a meeting point, recreation point for everybody.
Right. A library, who knows what. But I think the parish administration has been great. Mike Kenny and Cynthia Lee Jang has been really aware of this and have been supportive of this. The governor, John Bel Edwards, is supporting it, and Senator Lario has been tremendous in getting funding for this project in the Senate. So it's my job to keep it going and turn it into something good.
Well, I look at it as more revenue for the parish. When you've got a gem like this and you preserve it, not only are you preserving history, but you're also creating, another venue, for the parish to make money off of and create history but also create memories in the future for people.
Yeah, but I think, and also for people to enjoy and to have a high quality of life and just make living on the Westbank a cool place to be.
Yeah.
So, and this is the old pool. I had some women come out and I did a walk around like we're doing now.
Yeah.
And they envision that to be like a coffee shop with a little playground for the children.
So I'm gonna pan around here so we can see the pool. Now it looks like it's kind of filled with some.
Listen, we can knock that out on a Saturday morning with some kids from our high schools. to clean that up. But
Yeah.
you got the tile roof and the concrete construction here also.
So this actually becomes the road that we circled around on from the other side. So a minute ago, everybody, we showed a road, and from on the other side, and we talked about how it circled around, and there's that row of trees, and it goes like this in a U shape all the way on one side of this property. And here's the back of that building where we started, where all that stone, where you could look in the stone in the front and see all the carvings and everything in the stone. So
yeah, this was the mechanical building and that we looked at and the one they're working on. And this should be finished. This part of the project should be finished. A phase of the project should be finished in the beginning of March. And then after that, in the next month, I'll be tackling the main building, the building that we just saw with the 1925.
Well, Pat, look, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate the tour, and I hope everybody shares this. This is a great place in the West Bank to visit and take a look at. When you're driving by, you can pull up and learn more about it. And if you see it in the news, help promote this place. It's really the gem in the West Bank. Pat?
Yeah, there's a lot of good that has come out of here. I know there was some bad stuff, but we can't let that slow us down. We got to look to the good and better. By looking that way, I think we can improve the West Bank and Jefferson Parish in the state. So
the architecture here is too important.
And there's, like I said, there's a lot of good that came out of here, and we just got to keep it in commerce and have people to come back and enjoy.
All right. Thank you all very much. Y'all have a great day.